Oh, dear heavens, who gave that child dynamite? Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Legends of Scadrial Mistborn Adventure Game Podcast. I'm your host and narrator, Trevor. You can find me on the 17th Shard forums as 5th of Daybreak, and with me we have a new group of Lost Legends.
Hello, my name is Carolina or Lena, and I will be playing Beladora Wilde.
Hello, my name is Zach, and I'll be playing Finnigan Bomon.
Hello, my name is Carl, and I will be playing Pinch.
Now, we've got a whole new group of legends to share with you guys. And step one, we are going to start with the crew. And so, the three characters that we have here, Pinch, Beladora, and Finnigan, are all going to decide before they go any further in character creation, 1, what their crew's common cause is, 2, who they primarily target, and then 3, what their preferred method is. So, as a group, what is it that you guys think that you would prefer to have as your cause? Are you a mercenary group who is searching for fame and fortune, or are you, anything and anything that might fit in with the Alloy of Law era missions that we're going to be doing?
Well, let me tell you what, Beladora is really into the Anarchy, so, if y'all are into some chaos, she would be very much into that.
Elaborate. I'm not entirely sure what just chaos means.
She's primarily into sowing chaos among the noble houses. That's kind of where her focus lies.
Okay. I think Finnigan would be too. I mean, his...
Pinch is fully on board with that.
I'd like to kind of hone that in a little bit. I mean, at least for Finnigan's backstory, he is very much against, like, organized crime and corruption. So maybe not just, like, the noble houses in general, but maybe, like, corrupt noble houses that are connected to the criminal underworld or something of that nature.
Yeah, Bella could be into that.
How about Survivorist style Anarchy?
How do you mean?
Kind of refined to the way that Kelsier was doing, where it was, down with the Lord Ruler, down with the noble houses, and trying to create more of an egalitarian type society.
Yeah, that would fit.
Not just chaos for the sake of chaos, but, chaos for Kelsier.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. That looks like it would work.
Okay, so go ahead and put that in for your crew's common cause, Survivorist Anarchy. And then, who is your crew's primary target? Kind of sounds like it's going to be the noble houses / upper classes. One of the examples is the corrupt, so you could put that in there.
So that's what we're going with, the corrupt?
Just the corrupt TM.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
And then, what is the preferred method that you think your crew would go with? Brute force, bravado, blackmail, sabotage, diplomacy, anything like that. Just a general example of how, if they could do a mission, they would do it that way.
I know Finn would be brute force or sabotage for himself personally.
Sabotage sounds good to me. Bella's definitely more of the, do it by using your wits in a while sort of person. But she could definitely go for some
and
sabotage.
Finnigan would be smart enough that he'd do it that way too, and have the brute force as a backup if necessary.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Pinch isn't exactly smart, but he definitely likes to have fun, and I think sabotage has that in there.
Alright, so that brings our crew together. Do we want to come up with a crew name now, or do we want to just kind of leave that?
I'm for sure not creative enough to come up with something on the spot.
I have no ideas as of right now.
Alright, we'll just kind of gloss over that for now. But the next step is to devise a concept for your character, which is about a 2 to 3 word description that encompasses what your character is. And so, for instance, Tajmil was street thief, I think was his. And whatever you think would be 2 to 3 words that really describes the core concept of your character.
Well, what I have come up with is anarchist socialite. And yeah, I think that about sums Beladora up pretty nicely.
For Finnigan, his concept is the unassuming muscle.
I like it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like he physically doesn't look like he can do much of anything, but...
Perfect.
Surprise!
Psych! For Pinch, I have it just written down that he is a charlatan delinquent.
Excellent. Next, we're going to go to step 3 and answer 10 important questions. Why did each character join the crew?
Well, Beladora joined the crew because she wants to undermine the nobility and sow discord amongst them. So if she's going for the corrupt, it's mostly just a front for her larger drive to undermine them all entirely.
Finnigan would have joined because he wants to get back at the nobility basically because it picks on the lower classes. It prevents the lower classes from succeeding in any way, shape, or form, and drives their quality of life down.
Pinch thought Beladora was hot, and he just kind of was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so Pinch is just kind of along for the ride then, it
He is
sounds like.
certainly along for the ride, quote unquote.
Alright, and how did each character live before they joined the crew?
Beladora appears that she would come from some sort of high-class family, but if you look a little bit closer, her fine clothes are a little bit scuffed up and dirtier than you would expect. So she comes from a family that is mostly just noble in name only and not so much in terms of their power or influence. And so that's kind of how she's lived her entire life, is just putting on a front or a mask to appear a lot more regal than she actually is.
Finnigan grew up as a dock worker and sailor for his family's company. So basically, he's gained his skills and strengths through that.
Pinch has pretty much always lived on the street. He is the literal definition of a street waif. He has spent all of his time lying and cheating to survive, basically. So this is just how he has always lived his life, and he kind of thrives off of it.
Alright, question 3. What special skill do you bring to the crew?
Beladora is quite skilled at the art of manipulation. She is very much the sort of person who is playing the social scenes at all times.
Finnigan's specialty is close quarters combat. If for some reason there needs to be a fight, Finnigan will be the one to step up and keep people occupied.
He's the punchy boy.
He is a punchy boy.
Meat Wizard casts fist.
Let's see, is that in my spell book? Let me see.
Pinch is just a charming sharpshooter.
Alright, on to question 4. What is your most distinctive feature? And this doesn't necessarily have to be a physical feature. It could be a mannerism. For instance, one of the examples they give is Kelsier's smile. And so, not necessarily always something that's physically about your character, but maybe some of the ways that they act towards the world or anything like that.
Well, Belladora's just a hot redhead with a very coy smile.
Everybody's hot. Just jot that down.
Finnigan likes to look like he's unassuming. He likes to not draw people's attention. That way when he is in a situation where he needs to actually do something, he can take his opponents by surprise.
Pinch is just a really pretty kid. I just have written down for Pinch that he is a freckle-faced boo. That's it. He's just really pretty.
How would other people describe your character's personalities?
probably coy and a little bit saccharine. Like, you're not quite sure if her sweetness is put on or if it's genuine.
Pinch is obnoxious. He's obnoxious and foul-mouthed, and he's charming on a dime, but normally he is not charming. And his mouth sometimes checks his cupcake cash. He's also an incurable flirt, and always lying.
I think Finn has this aura about him that he doesn't look terribly bright or imposing. He doesn't look like he's much of anything, to be honest. He's kind of average looks, but that's exactly how he wants people to see him.
But how would they describe him? Like, is he reckless? Is he funny? Is he reserved, intense?
I'd say probably a bit reserved.
Like, on a scale of Kaladin to Lift, where do you fall?
Somewhere in between, I'd say.
Alright, next we're gonna ask if any of the characters have any special powers, if they are fairings or mistings.
Yes, Beladora is a zinc misting, a rioter.
Finnigan is a pewter fairing, brute.
Pinch ain't anything. He got nothing. Y'all are the fancy ones.
And then the next two questions are figuring out the stats for the characters. And so instead of going through the individual stats for each of the characters, if the listeners are that interested, we'll let them figure it out through the meta. But just tell us whether for Beladora and for Finnigan, whether they are taking strong for their features, or not for features, but for attributes, or if they're taking strong for standings, and which one they're weak in.
Beladora is strong in her attributes, and she is fairly weak in her standings.
Finnigan is also strong in attributes and weak in standing.
And then Pinch, since you have no powers, you will be strong and average in those two. Which one is your stronger suit, and which one is your average?
Attributes is my strong one, and standing is going to be my average.
Alright, next. What is the worst thing that has ever happened to your character?
When Beladora was... Wow, that was a word. When Beladora was young, her family was a lower-ranking noble family from Urto, and they lost pretty much everything except for their name. And that kind of characterized her entire life, because the other noble families would look down on her and kind of treat her like she was less than them. And so that's where a lot of her drive comes from.
Finnigan's father was killed to force the sale of the family dock he grew up in into a noble family.
And Pinch, it kind of sounded like living on the streets was one of the things that was really tragic in your backstory.
Yep, that's pretty much it. He's spent a life on the streets, and that can be hard on its own.
Alright, and then finally, and this is one of my favorite things about the character creation, is you get to decide what your character thinks their ultimate purpose is, even if it's not necessarily what ends up happening, what they think that they're destined to do. But if you don't want to share it for your character right now, that's okay. We will find it out in the course of playing through. If you do want to share it, go right ahead.
Beladora fully believes that her destiny is to take down the noble class and to restore the sort of egalitarian society that the survivor thought was what the world needed.
Pinch wants to become a god.
Yes!
Yep, one of the few franchises where that can actually happen. I'll have to figure out how we can kill Suzette off.
You don't want that to happen.
It's the Ascendant Warrior reborn.
You do not want Pinch to be that.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's a bad idea. I can name off the reasons why that's a bad idea. I think you'll figure it out.
Man, Finnigan just wants his boats back, man.
He's a simple man
Fair
of
enough.
simple needs.
Okay, so let's figure out how everybody knows each other and how this crew kind of came to be. It kind of sounds like Beladora just picked Finch up off the street one day.
Yeah, most likely. She was probably walking by and then he saw her and then she has not been able to shake him off since.
Catcalling 101. Did she hit him? I hope she hit him.
Oh, she absolutely hit him.
Put a gun in his face. It's okay. How'd they get Finn?
My guess is Beladora would have, after he was no longer a dock worker, Finn would have put himself into bodyguard work.
Ooh, yeah.
You're a muscle man.
And he would have, and I'm guessing Beladora would have paid for his services and just kind of kept him along.
Yeah, or at least promised pay for his services, and he has yet to see any evidence of that.
Oh, good God.
That would be an interesting dynamic.
Just after this next score, I promise.
But Finnigan would probably have been, after working with Beladora, would be, okay, yeah, I like the kind of stuff that we're doing here. And so he ends up sticking around.
Yeah, so it's less about what she can pay him and more kind of the work that they're doing together.
Mm-hmm.
It's for a noble cause.
It's not what you can pay.
Wink,
it's
wink.
who you can make pay.
Oh.
Exactly.
Trademark.
There it is, team. Our tagline.
Copyright Legends of Scadrial, 2019.
That's it. We're done.
That's it. Campaign
That's a
over.
wrap, boys.
So I thought before we got into some of the missions that the Alloy or the Mistborn Adventure Game supplements have in the next episode, we could kind of brainstorm and improv a mission that the group had went on before and then jump in towards the very end of that mission.
Okay.
I hope there are explosions involved.
Okay, so step 1, there are explosions involved. So this fits right in with sabotage.
Heck yeah!
Okay, explosions involved.
All of the best plans.
Maybe like blowing up some sort of supplies that are supposed to be
A
going to
bank!
the noble houses.
So are we thinking?
Okay. Yes.
So are we thinking trains or canal?
I kind of like the bank idea.
We blew up a
I
bank!
do really like the bank idea.
We blow
Yeah.
up a bank. Okay.
Yes!
Okay, what was the reason that you guys blew up this bank?
I don't even care!
Pinch didn't even care. Maybe we were just short on cash and it was just like a distraction to get some money.
I mean, it'd be one of those things where we need operating income, and it also would probably be owned by a noble family.
Obviously, we picked a
Yeah.
bad bank.
Yeah, I kind of like going with Finnegan's
obviously.
motivations, that you figured out that this bank had connections to organized crime, and so 2 birds with 1 stick of dynamite, we're going to get ourselves some money, and we're going to
Maybe-
blow up this mob bank.
Maybe the bank is laundering money.
It's our money now! Also on fire.
Our money now.
Okay, yeah, I really like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in right after the bank is blowing up, and we're going to do like a car chase kind of thing, or a wagon chase, however we end up doing it.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll say that's where you got your seed money, and we'll go ahead and purchase some props for each of the characters. But,
Ooh.
did everybody have a gun that they had picked out already for their props?
Yes.
I did not yet.
Okay, so we can go.
The only
Would you say Finnegan would be more of somebody, would he even use a gun, 1? And if he did, would he use a pistol, a shotgun, or a rifle?
he'd probably have a shotgun.
Shotgun buddies, baby.
Pinch has got a rifle.
Can he even hold a rifle?
Yes. Sorta. He makes it work.
Yeah, the only prop I'd picked out at this point was the earrings for the Furukami.
Okay, and then you've got 150 charges to start. I did see that Beladora has 1 vial of zinc in her inventory as well, so she's set for her allomancy. We won't make this a prop that you guys have, but somehow maybe even you stole it right before you started the job, but we will say that you guys have an automobile that you are using to escape. And so to set the scene, you have just set off all of this dynamite to kind of hide your tracks as you're running out of the bank with these sacks full of cash, all of these banknotes. And you jump into the car and you take off, and you're driving down the street, and that's when you start to notice that there is a group of coin shots following behind you.
Who's driving?
I feel like it's going to be Finn, but it would be really funny if Pinch was
I was
driving.
going to offer.
Yeah, I definitely feel like
I
Pinch
agree
is
with
the
that.
driver here.
Am I the driver? I'm so excited. Okay, let's go.
I almost think that this wasn't the plan, but Pinch just, is just like, okay, let's do this, and then jumps into the front seat, and everybody, like, raises their fingers, like, wait, and then, like, oh no, we just gotta go. Jumps in the car.
I'm Blinky. I can reach the pedals. I'm good.
So just to kind of help me with the theater of the mind, what do these cars look like?
They're basically like old style Model Ts, since it's the first time that automobiles have been introduced into Scadrial. I think that they are manufactured by the Penrods.
Okay.
I don't think I mentioned, but Pinch is like 15 years old.
Oh yeah, that's old enough to drive.
Okay, so not like a little tyke or anything.
Yeah, I was going to make him younger, but then I realized timeline-wise he needed to be a little older.
Using your rifle to hit the handles or pedals.
Still a kiddo.
All right, I'm adding a shotgun in.
Basically looks like a Model T. It's got like the canopy over the chassis. It's got the straight up and down windshield and the big old open spoke tires that looks like they're still trying to figure out how they want to make new tires and have just gone with the old wagon designs. Like if you've ever seen Fox and the Hound, that kind of automobile.
Okay. So does it have doors?
Looking at the illustration on 127 of the Alloy of Law rulebook, it does not.
Eee. I think you know where I was thinking of going with that.
Were you going to start ripping doors off and throwing them?
No, I was gonna rip the door off and use it as a shield.
Who paid for the car?
Not us.
Rip it off! Go for it!
Yeah, we can go ahead and say it has doors.
So that's what Finnigan will do once he realizes that there are actual coin shots. He'll try and take one of the car doors, rip it off in order to act as a shield, so to protect the other two.
Okay, so here's how I'm seeing this scene. You guys run out of the bank. I assume you have some sort of mask or something to disguise your face on. You're running up to the car. Pinch is a little bit faster than everybody else and just manages to squeeze into the front seat and start the car up. Everybody pauses for a second and then hears the tinkle of coins that says that there's coin shots following, and they jump into the car. Finnigan, last to get in, rips the door off the handles. Go ahead and let's say that'll be 20 charges in order to rip that off. And he jumps into the back, and we'll say that canopy's open at this point, so that way you kind of get a good sight line, and you're standing in the back seat, kind of hovering protectively between Beladora and Pinch and these coin shots that are coming after you.
You said that was 20 charges?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that door metal?
Oh, it definitely is.
Oh, good. That's fine. I'm sure that's not something to worry about.
All right, let's make it a wits roll for Pinch to see how well that he can pilot the horseless carriage. So that'll be 5 dice in your pool. And I'm going to make
I just roll 5?
Yep, roll 5 dice, and I'm going to make it a contest against the Alamancer's Alamancy rating.
Oh, that dice roll.
Okay, so I've got 5, a 4, 2 2s, and a nudge.
All right, they just got a pair of 1s and 2 nudges. And so you start ripping off down the street, and the tires kind of squeal a little bit of smoke rises from the back, and you just start zipping down, and immediately you hear a sound of cursing from behind you as the coin shots have to start to keep up instead of being able to start their assault immediately. Beladora, what would you like to do?
I am just hunkering down in that seat as much as I can, and I'm clutching my pearls. I'm probably just gonna yell over a Pinch, "Are you sure you can't push that pedal down any further?"
Go ahead and give me Let's make this a rioting roll.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like, I guess, try to tug on his sense of urgency.
It is all excitement right now. You probably do need to do that.
Yeah. All right. So what do I roll? How many dice do I roll?
You have a zinc rating of 5, so you will roll 5 dice.
Okay, so 5. All right. That was 3 2s and 2 nudges.
Pinch, I'm going to give you 2 extra dice for the success and for the 2 nudges for the next piloting check that you have to make with this horseless carriage.
Am I rolling 7 dice?
You will be when we get back around to you. And we're kind of just keeping it in a loose turn order instead of making this a full-on combat. Mostly because I don't want to have to deal with the rigor of keeping track of combat.
You got it.
Finnigan, you have got the door in your hand, and to start out with, give me a physique roll to see if you can keep your balance as this car just takes off.
And that's a straight physique roll?
Yep, 6 dice. Okay. But you can burn 10 charges to add an extra die, if I remember correctly.
Okay, it's 4 and a nudge.
All right, yeah, so you kind of plant the door on the back of the car and use that as a fulcrum, and you keep yourself lockstep upright and don't even sway at all. I am going to take 2 dice away from the Allomancers as they're going to try and shoot some coins at you guys for Pinch's success in taking off so quickly. So we're going to say that there are 4 total coin shots that are coming at you who are protecting the bank. So I'm going to do 4 separate rolls. Finnigan, give me 1 physique roll plus 1 to try and protect the rest of the crew.
That's 5.
Okay, so we one of them got 2 1s and a nudge. He will do nothing. One of them got 2 4s and a nudge. He will do nothing. One of them got nothing, and one of them tied you with a pair of 5s. So we're going to say that he shoots a whole barrage of coins right into the door, and they kind of stick in there and take away a little bit of the door's ability to protect you guys. Let's head back to Finch and give me your roll of 7 to pilot this car.
All right. Oh, all right. That is 3 4s, a 5, a 3, and 2 nudges.
Ooh, 2 nudges. So you beat them out by 1. So they're going to lose 1 die on their attacks this time. You get up to a turn, and you know that it's the turn that you need to take to get out of town, and you wait until the very last second, and you crank the wheel really hard, and the car almost goes up on 2 wheels as you make the turn, almost tips over. Finnigan takes the car door, slams it into the ground, which pushes the car back over, and you guys start roaring down the street. And at the last second, the coin shots have to then change their trajectory to follow you, and they fall another step further behind.
Heh!
Let's move on to Beladora.
How far away are these coin shots?
What is it that you want to do?
I'm just wondering if they're out of my rioting range.
Yeah, unless you have the medium range stunt, you really don't have too much range for rioting, unfortunately.
I do not. Okay. Well, I think that I will just continue to riot my pals and just riot Pinch's excitement and I guess Finn's... What even would that be?
Tony likes to riot a sense of badassness.
Yeah, I think that sounds about appropriate. His sense of badassness.
He just turned the car on a freaking door. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Badassness.
And also I'm fanning myself a little bit because that was pretty impressive.
Stars.
Give me a roll of 5.
Okay. That was 2 2s and a nudge.
All right, and we'll say this one's just for Finnigan, and you are going to add 1 to your next... Or let's give it 2, because you got the nudge again. So 2 to your next roll.
Okay.
And are you still going active defense?
What Finnigan would like to do is, if for some reason they try to pull the door away, he'd tap into his metal mind a bit more to increase his weight to increase his mass, therefore increasing his weight.
Okay, increase his strength to increase his weight a little bit.
Yeah. That way they'd have issues gauging whether or not that way they'd have issues pulling the door away if they try to do that.
Okay, yeah, it won't change your weight as much as if you were the fairing that can store and tap weight, but at the very least, the extra mass and then especially the extra strength will give you a little bit better control. And then I'll also give you the bonus from Beladora if they try and shoot at you again, which they are going to. Oh. So go ahead and roll 8 dice.
That's going to be a pair of 5s with a nudge.
All right, you beat them all out, because one of them got the pair of 5s, but that nudge does it. And so coins are spraying all around you, and you're just kind of moving the door back and forth and deflecting all of them. The door is definitely, pretty beaten up, but you still have the ability to use it as a shield since they didn't do any extra damage to it. And so as you guys keep going down this corner, you see one of the coin shots break off from the rest of the group and start speeding as quickly as they can in a separate direction, but you definitely recognize that direction as the way that you would need to go in order to get out of the city once you get to the end of this street. Which, by the way, I assume that you're not doing this in Elendel just because, one, it will be easier for narrative purposes later on if you're not wanted for a bank heist there, but I think that it would make sense that you're out in one of the tertiary cities and kind of getting yourself established out there. Is that okay with everybody?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What I'd like to say is bring on the Connors. That's all I want. No, I'm kidding.
That's all good for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Pinch, give me a wits roll of 5 for piloting your car.
Oh man, that is 3 5s, a 2, and a nudge.
Unfortunately, they got 5s and 2 nudges. So they're going to catch back up with you. And
Shoot.
Let me roll for this guy who left. Yeah, he's making really good time. All right, Bella.
So how far away are they now?
They are within range of your riding.
Okay, I am going to spike their anxiety. See if maybe that'll make them slip up at all. I'm just gonna slam on their anxiety and their fear and see if that disorients them at all.
Okay, and you have to be riding in order to attack somebody with Allomancy, and whenever you have to be flaring. And so whenever you flare your metal, you get an extra dice. So you get to roll 6 this time.
Okay. Awesome. That was a whole lot of 3s and a nudge.
All right, 2 of them got nothing. 1 of them did get a pair of 4s. And so he is going to kind of resist the effect, but the other 2 are going to lose a die from their next action.
Sweet.
Finnigan.
I'm still going to be protecty boy, making sure that no one gets hit by the coin shots.
Go ahead and roll your 6.
That's just 3 4s, 3 nudges. Not that matters, but 4s and all 3 nudges.
Okay, they finally caught up with you. And so one of them actually got 2 5s and 3 nudges. And what I'm going to say for that is he manages to shoot that out of your hand. And so you no longer have the door to block with. And then the other one is going to deal 2 points of physical damage to you.
Gotcha.
And now after this guy we'll say you've been driving for a little bit, this exchange took a little bit of time, you're getting close towards the edge of the city, and suddenly 2 automobiles screech out into the street behind you, and the 3 coin shots land in the back of those cars, and the cars are chasing after you now. Pinch, what would you like to do?
You said that there are cars after us too?
Yeah, these 2 cars, and you can see the 4th coin shot sitting in one of them. 2 cars kind of rip off of the street behind where you were driving, and they are chasing after you now. And there are people in constable uniforms driving each of the cars.
Oh, good. That's great. Okay. So is there any alleys or anything that I can slam our car through?
Give me a spirit roll. 5 dice.
It's not great. 2 1s, 2 3s, and a 5.
The 3s will do it. Yeah, there is an alley that is just wide enough for one car exactly. So
I'm going to advise everyone to tuck their heads in, and I'm going to just throw our car in a turn that's probably a little too sharp, and I'm going to take us down there.
Give me a wits roll and make it a good one.
Is that 5 dice?
5 dice.
Okay. It's a 5, a 4, and then a 1, 2, 3. It's a full house.
Which is unfortunately absolutely nothing.
Damn.
You try and turn the car, and you manage to get into the alley at first, but we'll say you're turning right, and you turn just a little bit too sharply, and the right wheel catches on the side of the building there, and it flips the car, and the car gets stuck horizontally between the buildings. Exactly, and it shoots the rest of the crew out of the top of the car. Everybody take 2 health damage.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. In my head, that went over better.
But the cars behind you are now stopped.
Oh, see, that's what I meant to happen.
Because they can't make it into the alleyway. Who had the dynamite to blow up the bank?
Probably Finn?
Probably, actually, yeah.
Finn, give me a spirit roll. 4 dice.
Yeah, that's 5s and a nudge.
Okay, I was going to give you 1 stick if you had 3, 2 sticks if you have 5. You have 3 sticks of dynamite left.
Oh, okay.
Before we go to Finn, though, Beladora, you have just been wildly ejected from this car and bruised up a little bit.
I'm gonna, first of all, try to get my bearings. And do I know that Finn has that dynamite?
Yeah, go ahead and say you do.
Okay. And this alleyway, does it go further on? Like, what conceivably would happen if we lit all that dynamite, left it in the car, and booked it?
Another light show at the very least.
I really like the way you think. Just wanted to put that out there.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm just gonna dash over and see if we can't get those sticks of dynamite lit and just shout at everybody, start running.
Okay, Finnigan, Bella is telling you that you need to get the dynamite lit. Do you maybe pass one over to her, or how do you respond? Because she wants to get it done immediately, it sounds like.
I'll pass one to her so she can ignite the car, and I'll light one myself and use my enhanced strength to toss it at the cars at the other end of the alley.
Okay, so kind of tossing it up and over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since you don't have to throw yours, Bella, give me a wits roll, and then Finn, give me a physique roll, plus however much you want to spend your die or your charges on to enhance.
Pinch is already booking it.
Oh, that wasn't too good. That was 2 1s.
Pinch, give me a physique roll.
That's not good.
That was a 4 and a nut. 4s and a nudge.
It's a nudge and a 3.
Okay, the 1s are good enough to set the dynamite. Pinch, you are going to take an extra point of damage when these blow up because you were not able to get out of range. Bella, I will need a physique roll from you as well, and Finnigan, to see if you guys get out of range.
Okay. That was 2 2s.
5s.
Okay, so both of you escape pretty unscathed.
I'm just a little baby. I'm so banged up.
And so what ends up happening here is Bella places the dynamite inside of the car and lights it off and starts running. And she kind of passes Pinch. Or actually, go ahead and give me 1 more die since you started running before it was lit.
Okay.
So add 1 to that roll.
It's another nudge.
You'll just still take the 1 damage, but it wasn't enough to get you away. We'll say that maybe a piece of the steering wheel shot off and hit you in the back of the head.
Great. I'm having a good time.
So this car explodes, sending shrapnel everywhere. Finnigan, at the same time that the one is being lit, tosses one high in the air in an arc, and it blows up midair right as the coin shots are starting to jump over it. 2 of them are directly caught in the blast, and they don't look like they were too hurt by it, but they get thrown way back into the other side of the street and kind of fall to the ground from what you can see now that the wreckage of the car has been blown out of the way, and they don't really get up with any type of speed. But one of them, who managed to roll 2 5s, sees what's going on and flares his steel so that way he gets an extra strength push and goes up over the top of the building, and he is the last one pursuing you guys as you are running down the end of the alley. And I think that brings us back around to Pinch. Actually, no, he would get his chance to attack, and he is going to try and attack Finn, who give me a defense roll of 6.
5s and a nudge.
Yeah, he's been blinded by this attack. He didn't roll anything, and so coins just kind of scatter all around you, and you kind of like look up, you see exactly where all of the coins are going to land, and you don't even bother to dodge. Now let's go back to Pinch.
Would I be able to pick up any of those coins as I go? Or no?
Sure, you can pick one up for that nudge.
Okay.
All right, Pinch, what are you doing?
Okay, where are we right now?
You guys are about 3/4 of the way down the alley. You are only being followed by the one coin shot who is up above the tops of the buildings, but you can see him clearly in the gap between the two of them.
And those constables that were following us are still stuck on the other side of the now inferno of a car?
Yep.
Heck, Pinch is like super disoriented. He has like no health. I imagine that he is just stumbling and running, maybe asking one of them to use their stupid guns because they have those.
You could have a rifle if you wanted one.
No, I have a rifle, but that takes time and setting up. And they got shotguns, which is a little bit faster. Also, they didn't get just hit in the head with the steering wheel.
Well, if you wanted to use the rifle, I'd say this is a good range for it, so you wouldn't necessarily have to borrow it. Whereas the shotgun, he's a little bit out of the way, and he's a coin shot to boot.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will skid to a stop and whip that baby out. Can I kneel down like on a box or something to steady it and then try and shoot the guy?
Sure, I'll give you an extra die for that, and then an extra die for your specialty in sniping. And so a roll of 4 for your physique.
Roll 4?
Yep.
Okay. It's a 5, a 3, and 2 nudges.
Go ahead and re-roll your 2 that aren't nudges.
It is 2 5s.
He got 2 5s as well. So how I'm going to make this work is he sees you set up the rifle, and he gets a push ready, and you fire the shot off, and he manages to deflect it, but because he was focused on deflecting the shot instead of continuing forward and on his other pushes, he kind of falls to the ground and has to steady himself and catch himself in midair, which allows the rest of everybody to get down the rest of the alley and get set up over there.
I'll take it. Let's go.
Bella, what would you like to do?
So we're getting set up on the other side of the alley, right?
Yep.
So we're kind of just like waiting. Could we wait for him on like either side of like a wall or something, like kind of flanking in a sense?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. And you wouldn't necessarily even have to wait there if you wanted to. You could keep going. But Finch is still in the alley. Or Pinch is still... I keep wanting to call you Finch. Pinch is still in the alley.
Okay. I might...
Finchigan Wild. That's what the team name is.
Can I just like grab Pinch by the collar and start hauling him to the other side?
Oh, you could definitely try. Give me a physique roll, and we will make it +1 since Pinch weighs a whole string bean.
1 whole string bean.
Okay, well that's not great. That's 2 1s and a nudge.
We'll say you managed to drag Pinch about halfway towards the exit of the alley. After he
Is it like just enough to get me back on my feet so I can start running again?
Yeah, like she kind of hauls you up to your feet and pulls you a little bit of the way right after you make the shot. And so you are, we'll say about 7/8 of the way out of this alley now.
I am like swooning over here and I'm like, that there was romantic.
Finn.
Okay, so I see Pinch is taking a shot at the coin shot that's left. Finn has just picked up that coin. What he'd like to do is hopefully hopefully the coin shot is distracted enough that if he kind of like just shock puts it at him using his strength, well, not like shock put, but like skipping stones across, like he'd kind of throw it that way, but using his hand strength to make it projectile deadly.
Okay, how many charges do you want to put in this?
I am putting 2 charges into it.
Okay, give me 8 dice. Oh man, these coin shots are on fire.
That would be 3s with a nudge.
He got 5s. So he just pushes it out of the way, but starts coming towards you guys again.
This guy's a tank.
I swear this one has rolled nothing but 5s. And
what are they feeding this thing?
Steel.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Pinch, back around to you.
There's no more dynamite, right?
There is 1 stick left.
I've got 1 stick on me, yep.
Hail. Okay. How close to the how close to like getting out of the city are we now?
If you can find a way to evade this coin shot, I will say you guys are golden.
Oh man. Okay. Where is Finn? Is Finn near me?
Finn is at the entrance to the alley, so he's just a couple steps in front of you.
Can I run up to him and climb on his back and then try to fire off another shot while he's moving?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. What am I rolling?
I'm going to keep you at 2, though, since this is an unconventional firing platform. So we're going to give you the +1 for your sniping and then a -1 for firing next to Finn's ear.
Should I do any
just
kind
the 2?
of physique roll?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. What did I need?
At least a success.
I don't even know what a success is. It's a 4 and a 5. It's a 4 and a 5.
Nope. So it kind of like whizzes by him, and he dodges out of the way, but it will make his reaction time to get to you guys a little slower.
Damn it. Okay.
And Bella.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep running, and then maybe I'll pull the shotgun out. I'll leave the shotgun for a little bit.
Okay, give me a physique roll.
Okay. Where did I put that? Here we go. That was nothing and a nudge.
Okay, I'm not going to say that you fall or trip or anything, but you just make it like a standard distance away, and you haven't really... You don't feel like you're comfortably starting to get away from this guy yet.
Okay.
Finn, you've got this scrappy 15-year-old who just fired a gun next to your ear.
I'm still on him, too.
On your back.
I'm just cocking my gun for another one.
Lad, what are you doing?
I'm trying to aim. Run a little smoother.
So Finn will take out his shotgun, try and disorient the... He's not going to take the time to aim, but he's going to try and fire out some shotgun pellets just to disorient the coin shot.
Give me physique -1 then. Actually, let's make it -2 since you've got Scrappy Doo on your back.
But he weighs a whole string bean.
Yeah, but he's going to make it harder to use your arms.
I got a lot of legs going on here.
Actually, that's 2s with 2 nudges.
Okay, let me roll for the coin shot. He is going to take a little bit of damage. And we will go to his turn. He is going to fire another spray of coins, or another coin at Finnigan and Pinch. So, both of you give me a physique roll.
2 2s.
Alright, he rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so you guys are golden. But he stopped to do that, so he's going to fall even further behind. Bringing us back to Pinch.
I'm cocking my gun for another one.
Okay, let me check a rifle real quick. I gotta figure out if that's something you have to reload every round. I think if it's the multi-shot rifle, it has 8 shots, so you're good to shoot again.
I am absolutely shooting again. 2?
Yep, another roll of 2.
That's double ones.
Okay, he's going to take another point of damage as this thumps into his side. Bella.
Is he close enough to Riot?
No, because you've been running further than the rest of the group.
Okay, fair enough. I guess I'll just Riot Pinch's sense of badassness then.
Okay, give me a roll.
All right. That was 2 2s and 3 nudges.
Okay, 3 nudges, you affect the entire party. Because anytime you get 3 nudges or more, it's enough to provide the entire crew with a bonus. So everybody's going to add 1 to their next die roll.
Nice.
Very nice.
Looking in the alleyway, is there anything not metal that I could just kind of like just pick up and throw?
Give me a spirit roll plus 1.
That's 4 nudges.
Nothing else?
And a 5, yeah.
You can spend 2 of those nudges to re-roll everything else.
Okay. 2 5s.
Okay, whatever the hell you want to throw at this guy, you've got that on hand.
Okay. And then is that it, or do I get to throw it?
You'll get to throw it, too. Just let me know what you want to throw, and if you need to do any charges to throw it.
I guess I find, like, some, it's an alleyway, so I find some just, like, something completely random that looks like it'd hurt if it was thrown. Well, let's say, what would have been around back then that isn't metal?
Let's say that
what if it was
stone chunk of debris from one of the buildings got blown to the end of the alley, and you find that and pick it up.
That'll work. That's 5s with a nudge.
Okay, let me see if he can get out of the way of this thing. Oh, he can't. Not at all. So he takes the shot to the side, and then he puts his hand forward reflexively, expecting you to shoot the shotgun again and getting ready for that. And then the last thing you see is his eyes go wide before this giant boulder crashes into him and knocks him all the way back down the alley. And you guys start running and make it the rest of the way out of the city and head for safety.
Success!
Nice.
And that was your first real mission as a group. You blew up a bank.
And then a car. And then an alleyway.
And a car.
And then some coin shots.
The exploding coin shots were my favorite.
I don't know, I kind of like the car.
You're welcome for that.
Oh, I meant blowing it up, honey.
Well, I put it in the right spot for blowing it up.
Well,
You didn't put it in the right spot, you crashed it in the right spot.
Semantics. It got there, didn't it?
And I think since we're running a little bit long, we will go ahead and stop there and figure out our props in our next episode. We'll also go over the stunts that everybody took and start on the first of the Masks of the Past supplement quests, the third Octant Squeeze. So thank everybody for listening. I'm really excited for this new group. I think we've already had a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what all we can do with all of these new toys like dynamite and automobiles and trains. Already it's just been a whole lot of fun to run, and I hope you guys join us there for our next episode.
Bye!
Mistborn and all related properties are owned by Brandon Sanderson and Dragonsteel Entertainment. The Mistborn adventure game, the Alloy of Law supplement, and the Masks of the Past supplement are owned by Crafty Games. Special thanks to Steve Argyle for letting us use his artwork for the logo, and to Boardroom Design for putting the logo together for us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube at LLOS Podcast, or join our Discord community. We hope that you'll give us a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever podcast provider you use. And make sure you tell a friend who loves Brandon Sanderson. Thanks for listening. Tune in next time.